Super Bowl 52, and now back for the road to the Super Bowl.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. Yeah, they can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52, and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 120!
Don't get nervous.
Sunday.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try to wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
At the 22-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
Cousins to throw it.
He don't want it.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Oh, black. Bravo. Here we go.
3rd and long for Cousins.
Rip right.
Open here, Adam Thielen. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. This one complete to Scott Miller. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A loss of 2 yards. And it's 3rd.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Wentz going to throw. He'll hit Jackson, complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down. Check safety, check safety. Solid, solid.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. The catch made by Miller. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or 2. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out.
I'm here all day.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10. Now Cook. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And the Vikings first down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
With the score, Vikings 3, Eagles 0.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That one good for 26 and a first down.
A gain of 26 yards.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go, T. Here I come, here I come.
Throwing is Cousins.
Double dog, that's the way.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
Bailey's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hey, rip 5-2, hot here.
Throwing now is Wentz. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Hey, you don't want it.
49, check 49, check 49.
You go tight.
No.
You got tight right there. No. Off.
46 down, man, 5-4.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Gun.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
Throwing. Cousins. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, box drop.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. That's good for 28 yards.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Tight dog.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Watch the pass.
They'll try to run this one in. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Sunday. Let's go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going up top for Miller. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Scott Miller, 62 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Brandon Graham, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hey, watch that. Hey, Echo. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Yeah, that's what I do.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a run with Cook. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 49-yard line.
Hot. 180. Good routes here.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Right there.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Hey, no, easy.
All right, here we go.
Gun.
Mike's 5-4.
Hey, steamer.
It's a party now.
Hot.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
Watch twist. Switch.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Danny. Let's go.
Buzz.
53. Mike, 50.
Gun.
Watch the out.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Got an open man, it's QT. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the curl. Check.
Go.
Check. 53's Mike. I got him.
Mike, 53, Mike.
Black.
Get ready. 53.
They'll throw again, Cousins.
Come on, baby. Woo!
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Cousins on 1st down.
Tight down.
And this is incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football.
Go.
Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
We're going to work.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play. Allowing them in 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Check hot route. Hot.
Alert flow.
They go again with Scott. Space to maneuver at the 40. And cuts out right sideline. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Boston Scott, 73 yards. As they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
At the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Here we go. Tighten up.
They run, Cook. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Hey, orbit.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
On second and 12, Cousins. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
Let's go.
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Jannard Avery able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Ship.
Hey, can.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Mike, 54.
Watch the pass.
Hey, can.
Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Hey, high 7.
Here we go.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Done.
1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
Mike's 5-4.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike, 54. Mike, 50.
Gun.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got
To throw is Cousins. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
Here we go.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Big edge. Shift.
Now Scott. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Here we go.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Back.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's Scott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Two jet.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, let's get this. Check 99. Check 99.
Now a give, right side. It's Scott. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Trey 15.
22's the mic.
Come on. 82. Smoke. Here,
Get him. You got
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Come to my world. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Great.
Check. Crack down.
They'll try and run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
First down, Eagles.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Scott. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Boston Scott, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The Vikings take over first
Here we go.
at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
All day. Every day. Any day.
1st down, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here we go, Pac-Man. Sweetie!
Check, 42's the mic. Let's go, defense.
On first down, they run with Howard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They go with Howard again. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They run with Howard. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
A gain of 2 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your play.
He's got a man, complete. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Now Cousins. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Here I come.
On the ground with a tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Check 55 to Mike.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Done.
And they will take a knee here.
On the keeper. Tonight's final score.
They said beginning of the year, they set a lofty goal, Charles, of getting to the Super Bowl. They fell 1 step short of that.
Oh, and that's going to hurt for a long time. That's going to be a big one for the offseason. Their goal now has to be not to wallow in it, but to use it as fuel for next year. Better offseason conditioning, great OTAs and minicamp. You know as well as I do, they'll have T-shirts in their lockers that say, unfinished business. They want to get back there and